Hey, soul survivors, we're going to talk about the toxic work environment, also the mass exodus of teachers, stressors at work. Should we keep our job? Where is our passion? What is most important to us? So, this was something that was stimulated based on this group I belong to. I am a teacher, and I've had some very toxic schools that I've been at, and also I'm in a wonderful one. However, there are certain challenges that go along with being a teacher and certain risks. So I have told you guys in different videos where I worked at a college of technology down in Tennessee, and 20 to 30 minutes after I left on my 6th day there was a murder in the parking lot just 200 feet from my car. So it's not always safe. We've had where I work now, there's metal detectors. There was you know, I just recently learned that kids were setting fires in the building. There's been a couple incidences on that. And the last school before that, there was somebody brought a gun, shot a gun, and a gun was shot in the bathroom, not at a person, I guess. I wasn't there at that time, but children, there's some horrendous fights that break out. I've been hit in the stomach. I've been punched in the face. I've been bit, thrown up on, all different ages. I've done everything from pre-K3 up through college level. So we have to think about our safety. Is it safe? And take necessary precautions. And this can be at whatever job you are in. So are we the target of whatever's going on? Is our person stable? Is our environment stable? And are we being bullied in our work environment? Are we feeling supported? And is it healthy? So I've seen teachers leaving posts about, crying at work. I've had different jobs. Teaching, I believe, is the only job I've ever cried at, often. I don't remember crying one day at different schools. It's very frustrating, and it can wear you down. By the end of the day, you can be exhausted because of all the emotions. And the reason I bring this up is there are toxic work environments and also toxic relationships that can be draining. They say how the narcissist is an energy vampire. So a lot of these teachers are leaving because they're not supported by administration. The roles are not clearly defined. That can happen in narcissistic relationships too, where are the roles, where, because you can expect certain things, but when you start feeling undermined and not supported, it can cause even more frustrations. And where is your heart? There are people that go into the service, like army, military, for a paycheck. Others go in to support their country. Others have a passion for it, where that's going to be their life career. Others are like, look, I'll just do it for 4 years. I get to support my country, get my college paid for, whatever their reason is. Just like a teacher, I am going there to help the children. I am going there to have my summers off. I am going there for a paycheck. I'm going there to have a respectable job that society will see me this way. What are your reasons? Because mental health can be affected by that. If you're just there for the paycheck and all these things are causing stressors on you, you're not going to be happy. And when you stay in that kind of environment, or if you have toxic coworkers, a lot of gossiping, or backstabbing, or trying to get you fired, there's a lot of cattiness that goes on. And like I said, where I am now, I am very supported, very happy, very lucky. I teach English as a second language now, so I am in smaller class sizes. I know a lot of teachers are overwhelmed. When we went through COVID and came back, we had Monday, Tuesday as one group. We had Wednesdays off to clean. And then on Thursday and Friday, we had like another third of the students and the rest were virtual. So there was times I had 3 students, there was times I had like 11 or 12. And during the normal time, it was around 30 kids. When you had 30 kids, I was just teaching gym at that time. I've taught grade level art. I've taught a lot of different things, but during the COVID episode, it was me teaching gym, and the different ages, you see different behaviors, and you have to know what you're getting into, because when it was manageable, when there were less students, things went along a lot easier. There was also a lot less stress, a lot less fighting or bullying, or the hierarchy of who's the best. They seem to all get along. And when you are also in a narcissistic relationship, you know, bedtime, lost my train of thought. Being honest. So but the thing is in the toxic work environment, do you stay? So these teachers are like, I have to stay. I have my pension. I don't want to give up on my pension. And we have to come to a point where we decide, is my job worth my health? Because you have one life, and is the situation fixable? Is it time to leave to a different school? Is it time to leave to a different profession? Where is your heart's calling? And I see the changes in students. I've talked to a lot of other teachers. I'm 53 years old, and in my mind, behaviors have changed, but I've also had different types of positions where I was teaching gym or teaching art. Being a specialist teacher is different because you're treated a lot like a substitute teacher. So trying to see what's in the classroom, like, am I seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing? Because it seems like the behaviors are changing, and being back in the actual, subject matter classroom, I know with English as a second language, these children are thankful, and I'm helping them. So it's rewarding to me. And their mentality is where they kind of need to rely on me. They kind of need my help. So they're respectful. There's still challenges. You see kids having a hard time coping in certain situations, and the triggers that happen. So there's still challenging students in my classroom now, but do we stay? Money is money. There are different jobs out there. And this can relate to whatever job you have. I know a friend of mine, her husband had some kind of deal where for him to work, they would give him a housing allowance, and he might have forfeited that if he quit. And he just got to where he felt like he was going to have a heart attack. And, you start thinking none of this other stuff matters, because I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. I know my father had retired because of the stressors that were placed on him. And he's like, I'm going to have an early death if I don't retire, because his workload was too stressful. He was also a perfectionist above and beyond, extremely smart, but he took a lot of time and made sure. So sometimes we have to give ourselves some grace that we don't have to be perfect, but he's passed. So I can't ask him. I don't know if the pressure was an internal pressure that he put on himself, or if it was like his bosses putting it on. Sometimes we want to climb up the ladder, so we put certain pressures on us, or, is it administration coming down on us? But all these teachers are seeing the behaviors, and that can wear on you. It can cause you to not feel safe, to feel helpless, because you try all these techniques. There's also a lot of constraints on teachers. You say one thing wrong, you can lose your job. And, there's times you accidentally swear, you could lose your job over that, but they bring you to a point that maybe you're going to say something wrong, and you are risking your health. You are risking possibly your life, or, over some money. So we all have to survive in this world, but definitely make sure you're not in a toxic work environment. If you are with a narcissistic person, evaluate that relationship, but your whole life should not be with toxicity, because it'll start to bring you down. Maybe now you're going to start to talk about how this person's upsetting you. It's going to be seen as gossip. Now you're the gossip girl, and this and that, and people turning against you, and it can just all go downhill. You want something that you look forward to, something enjoyable. And it's so much of your life is spent at work. Are we able to leave work mentally, emotionally, or are we tied up in that 24/7? I know as a teacher, you're always thinking about what's the next lesson plan, or how do I get through to this kid? And is that affecting your other relationships? Are you focusing so much or so tied up in your mind? So take care of your relationships, take care of yourself. When environments get too toxic, it's okay to leave. I know these teachers were really concerned. They didn't want to leave the kids. These kids, that it's a balance, because some of these kids have had so many people leave them, and that's part of the reason for the behavior. So sometimes you want to save, in a sense, save these children, but we have to have a balance of, the kids aren't supported at home. A lot of times there are some fantastic parents out there, but the changes that we are seeing, and also the changes in society, the 2-income families or 1-parent households that sometimes need 2 incomes from one person. And the acting out is a lot of times due to a need that's not met, and that can have lifelong consequences. And it gets tricky, because our hearts go out to these kids. But just like I know I can't go into the military, I would be a wreck. I give so much credit to the people that are able to do that. I am thankful for their services, but we have to know who we are. And some people tune certain things out. Some people get accustomed to it. Like, I was in nursing school, and there's a lot of stuff that are kind of challenging, kind of gross. And sometimes you get accustomed to that. Can I give shots now? Can I clean a wound now? Can I clean up poop? Can I do this? It gets easier. But would I ever get used to surgeries? Would I ever be a good surgical nurse? Probably not. And if I had to do that over and over again, it would wear on me. I know one of my very best friends wanted to be a veterinarian, but she has such compassion and like an overabundance of love for animals, whether they're the teeny tiny gerbils up to a horse, that she couldn't lay a animal down. And that's why she dropped out, because she would not emotionally be able to handle putting down an animal, even though she knows that sometimes, it is like that euthanasia. It's not just to get rid of the animal, but her heart couldn't do that. So she took the necessary steps to say, hey, this is outside my realm. This is outside my comfort zone. And we don't want to be crying all the time. Is that going to affect your performance? If you are a teacher, are your stress vibes going to wear off on the children? There's different coping mechanisms. If you guys are struggling with certain things, there are some things that I can help you on. I'm not saying just leave your job. I am just saying that we are changing into a more narcissistic society. A lot of it starts in childhood. I'm not necessarily saying it starts at home. Sometimes it starts at home, but sometimes it could be at dance class or at the church or going to a family member's house, that there are unforeseen things that can happen. And, there's times you might see something's wrong with your child and you're like, oh, they're probably mad that I didn't let them watch TV, when actually something else happened that's terrible, but you see them moping around and you're like, well, they acted out and I grounded them. But sometimes, even when you're trying to be a good parent, that sometimes things go misunderstood, or you can ask the child, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is it because of the TV? And they're like, I don't want to talk to you. And so you can't always get the full information. Children will shut down sometimes. Humans, adults do it too. But if you are struggling and it's starting to affect your health, there are other jobs out there. Some of us get so caught up that sometimes we don't have enough faith in ourselves to find a different job. We feel like nobody else is going to hire us, whether we're older or, not as educated as we hoped. Some people might have a master's, you have a bachelor's, or you have a high school diploma. There are jobs out there. There are jobs out there that you can do. You might need to pick up a new skill set, but I just found it awe-inspiring of how many teachers are so excited to leave the profession. Most teachers don't make it 5 years, and it's because of the overcrowded classrooms. A lot of it are the pressures, the administration, the extra work, the astronomical amount of time with record keepings and all the different types of individual educational plans and modifying things and differentiation in the teaching, and having to have your performance based on how the children do. So if your children aren't performing, it will affect your job, and the pressure of you could lose your license. Also, it is good to leave an up and up moral life, but that also, you're scrutinized. Are you drinking at a bar? That can go against you sometimes too. You have to always, it's like you can never relax. You're always under scrutiny. So realize that it's okay to leave and find a new job if it's affecting your life. If you have something like it's a pension, a lot of times we don't want to leave the job. So in my case, like I said, I love my job. I had some that were challenging, some I didn't want to go back to. But in my case, I could change within the public schools, even a different district. I could change districts for the same subject area. I could do a different job like secretarial, or work in the cafeteria, or who knows, human resources, or I could even work for the state. So things like that might be an option. Sometimes we don't realize what our options are. Like my father, he could have changed. So sometimes if you have to finish out for that pension or whatever it is, that we look at all the options and make the best decision possible. A lot of people give their lives over to their employer, when the employer oftentimes will get rid of you without a second thought. So take that to heart sometimes. There are fantastic employers out there that really do have your best interest. But remember, it's a business to them. And you're a human being. You're not a robot. Mental health is important. And some things are our responsibilities and other things aren't. And, you know, when the children are involved, it is nice to finish up the school year if you can do that, or prepare them and leave, you know, saying next semester when we come back, you'll have a new teacher. But communication is good. I don't feel that we should just abandon the kids without talking to them, maybe explaining what's going on, not explaining that you're leaving, and making sure they know it's not because of them. I also had somebody post on Facebook today about y'all needing validation, and you know, that has to come from within, that we do need to be strong. Sometimes we feel we might be a failure if we leave. It's not a failure, it's a change. Change isn't always a failure. And, you know, sometimes we feel guilty or that we let people down. And, you know, there's some good qualities to not wanting to let people down, but don't let yourself down. And if you guys are struggling, let me know on how I can help. Maybe give some insight, or like I said, in my profession, how there are those other options. Maybe we can brainstorm some new options. Your mental health is crucial and so important. You deserve a life and a job that makes you happy.